Palaflahiatu, good evening. In our news bulletin for this evening, but before we go to our headlines, we'd like to make a correction to our news bulletin last week that the last group of athletes departed on Friday. In fact, the last group from the Lawn Bowls left today on their way to the Pacific Games in Papua New Guinea. The New Zealand Super now portable and accessible in Niue as of the 1st of July. Foundation works in progress for relocation of meteorological equipment at the Sir Roberts Wharf. The police take a proactive approach to address issue of young drivers without licenses as they prepare to hold a driving school sessions during the school holidays. New high school students showed their sporting prowess in the annual school sports day last Friday. A recent law change in New Zealand will mean people wanting to return home to Niue, the Cook Islands or Tokelau to retire can do so after the age of 55 without losing their eligibility for the New Zealand superannuation. The Social Assistance Portability to Cook Islands, Niue and Tokelau Bill was introduced in the New Zealand Assembly at the end of July 2014 and was finally passed on the 22nd of June of this year. Minister Anne Tolley says that the bill will allow people to return to islands and contribute to the local workforce for up to 10 years before applying for the New Zealand Super. Premier Tokitalangi has also commented in the past that Niueans as New Zealand citizens should enjoy the same superannuation benefits as other New Zealanders. People will need to qualify for the New Zealand Super, requiring that they be resident and present in New Zealand for up to 10 years since the age of 20, including 5 years since the age of 50. This New Zealand government also wants to ensure that those countries with close constitutional ties with New Zealand are recognised and that their ongoing economic and social viability is supported. From the 1st of July, people can apply according to set eligibility criteria. Further information and application forms for those on island can be acquired from the New Zealand High Commission office at Tapil. Work to relocate infrastructure for the tsunami and sea level monitoring system has resumed. The Australian-funded project started last year and was a collaboration between the Niue Meteorology Office, the Australian Bureau of Meteorology and Geoscience Australia. The equipment that was installed at the tip of the wharf to help improve the meteorological services with their capability to collect much needed data. However, it had to be removed and relocated. For the past week, a local team have been working with 2 experts from Australia, and we caught up with the team today to see what groundwork is being done.
A reinforced concrete slab onto the existing wharf, tying onto the existing wharf, anchoring it down for cyclonic loads to go into the wharf, and after a couple of weeks then the concrete will have strengthened and hardened and will be ready to reposition the steel structure onto the new slab. It's set up to be rigid to control and position accurately the meteorological instruments, the radars and the depth measuring devices that are installed within the structure. And secondly, it's as an independent structure itself, it has to have stability and strength to withstand the climatic conditions here, which include high winds and cyclonic conditions.
Mr. Sain says that the relocation cost has been a substantial expense, estimated at about 100,000 Australian dollars, and this structure is tailor-made specifically to suit Niue.
It's tailored designed for the climatic and wind and cyclonic conditions here. To the extent where when we had it at the end of the wharf, it was receiving substantially westerly exposure, so it had strength inbuilt and designed into the structure to withstand and resist those westerly stresses and forces. In the new location, it has a north-south basically direction, and so it had to be strengthened in the east-west direction in order for it to be suitable for the location. So it is designed specifically for the conditions here in Niue. We've been working on doing the reinforced concrete slab for just over a week now, and the concrete pour for the slab will be tomorrow. So it's probably about 10 days from start to finish of doing the concrete slab. and in a few weeks' time the structure will be installed, in a fairly straightforward manner in a matter of days, but a bit more time to do all the electronic wiring and cable connection and that associated with the Met Bureau functions.
The concrete foundation should be completed by the end of the week, and the project will be commissioned once the structure has been fully installed. Niue Police will be holding driving lessons for high school students 14 and above as part of their road safety campaigns during the school holidays. Acting Sergeant Ramona Jackson says this is a proactive approach to address a problem with youngsters driving unaccompanied or without licenses. Registrations are now open for parents to enroll their children into the driving school with the potential to get their license at the end of the course. Mr. Jackson says that the department has noticed that there are many young drivers who have been seen driving without a licensed driver, and this is a move to encourage them to comply with the law, but most of all for their own safety. The driving school will be held over the course of 2 weeks during the school holidays, and the department are looking to divide participants into 2 groups. The objective is to ensure that safety is paramount and young drivers are given the right information to get their licenses. That is a requirement by law. Last Friday, Niue High School put their best foot forward to represent their teams in the annual Sports Athletics Day, showcasing confidence and team spirit. For this year's marching routines, the team's performances were creative and original, with each team having a mascot for their teams. Kieto with their Warriors, Moya with Flash, Langakali Spartans and the Pua Bulls. In the official program, there were words of encouragement for students to strive and do their best. The acting Premier Honourable Pokotoa Sipeli also encouraged the students to try their best in events like the Athletics Day that can lead to representation of Niue in future regional and international sports competitions. The marching judges had their work cut out for them, with Ms. Julina Siatanga given the honour as a judge representative to announce the results for the overall marching. 4th place went to Kieto, 3rd to Langakali, 2nd placing to Pua, and the champions for this year went to Team Moya. Many of the students, families, friends and caregivers gathered to watch the Niue High School Athletics Day, with supporting their children with drinks, food and loud cheers, urging them to run faster. The results for the overall champions for the Niue High School Sports Day according to year levels: Year 7 girls champion was Vanessa Ringamoto. For the boys, Jedediah Tukuitonga. Year 8 boys, Kefutoa Siatanga. Girls, Leilani Ikiwa. Year 9 girls champion was a draw between Moshino Jackson and Emu Mangtungia. Uta Fatulolo was the champion for Year 9 boys. Year 10 boys went to Andre Kolfisi and girls to Haven Siosikefu. For the senior girls champion, that went to Gemma Parker, and boys champion Kanavatoa Sipeni. Heptathlon champion Ashley Pingia and decathlon champion William Basisi. The Sika throwing champions for junior boys went to Uta Fatulolo, and for senior boys Louis Mokale. And for the girls coconut throwing champions for junior girls Emu Mangtungia, and for the girls Marina Kofisi. The overall teams that took out the total points of the day: 4th placing went to Langakali, 3rd went to Kieto, 2nd placing to Pua, and once again Moya dominated, taking 1st place. Moya this year champions for both marching and overall points. The day ended with exhausted but cheerful students. And those are our news stories that we have for you this evening.